about? Okay. On a Tuesday. Alright, cool. Let's jump into this thing. Guys, OSEE, if you haven't heard of them, they are in the market. They're out here. They're talking. People are talking about them. They're building shit. They're making new shit.
They pop up on my social media stuff
Almost
every day. At least every day.
OSEE, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
But guys, these guys are creating a really good price point monitor. They're not trying to be the next like insane Flanders monitor, and they're not trying to be like, they're coming in right at the middle of the market. And for someone like me and where I'm at in my position in the film career, it's like, that's the monitor to go to.
What?
I know you feel a little differently. What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
What's a Flanders? Because I guarantee most of the people that are watching...
A Flanders is a really high-end monitor that costs roughly anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000, and their color science is insane.
So the Flanders Scientific, you can go ahead and look them up, or we'll throw a link down in the description. They are the industry standard for color correction and for like basically anything that has to do with color or light in post-production, or even on set on bigger shows that can afford it. They're looking at a Flanders Scientific monitor.
A lot of colorists use them to color movies and whatnot. Definitely a little over the top, but if you're at if you're at a professional level, that's what people are using. But I mean, we're professionals and we're using it all, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What matters is if you like the image and if it does what you need it to do for the project you're on. So I would say for anything I've been doing, OSEE has been perfect because I'm not using it for a focus monitor. I'm not using it for like anything other than a vanity or director's monitor.
Yeah, we're coloring on other monitors, which we can talk about in other videos.
And we're shooting on other monitors and doing all that. But this monitor in itself, specifically for me, the 21.5 inch, is like the go-to vanity director's monitor for the price point and the quality you're getting in the market.
Yeah, so situations where you have multiple people on set, multiple people looking at monitors, and where we need to have multiple monitors on set. So the director has his monitor, the script supervisor has their monitor, and then you have your vanities so that they have something to look at as well. And this monitor fits that niche where we don't have, you know, tens of thousands of dollars where we can go have 1 million Flanders for everybody to look at, and they don't even need it. So this monitor like really is pretty awesome in that price point.
And to tell you guys this, like I directed my portion of the NBA project off of this monitor. So in that sense, like it will do more than you need for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
let's dive into it.
I was about to say, you guys are probably like, that's really cool and all, but what are the actual features of this monitor that make that true? Right off the bat, something that kills a monitor for me is how bright it is. If you're outside, you're inside, sun hoods, everybody just like, you know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. And this thing comes in at 1500 nits. So we have shot outside, we have shot inside, and I will say the sun hood outside, you do need it a little bit at that 1500, but it works.
Yeah, and the sun hood, it has snaps here for the sun hood. On the side, it just snaps in. It's super easy. While we're here as well, let's talk about its I/O capabilities. We have 2 SDI in, 2 SDI out. We have HDMI in, and then we have 2 RJ45s Ethernet ports.
What would an Ethernet port be used for on a monitor?
On this monitor, I don't know. It's probably networking. You can probably hook it up like via network and stream whatever to it. I don't know. I don't do that stuff.
I think I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So like they have network adapters, so you can actually stream video through your like local network in your house.
Through like an IP address?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Kind of like a tear deck would use a wireless signal.
Yeah. Similar thing. I'm sure there's other reasons why. I don't ever get into that stuff. This is where we live right here.
So if you need to power anything, you got the USB, you got a headphone jack, you got an audio in.
And it does have mounting positions for gold mount and V mount batteries as well. And then you have to run this little adapter into the power to power it through the 4-pin XLR, which is pretty standard stuff. A lot of the monitors out there have those as well. And then also have your AC, normal AC hookup for it as well. And you also have a power switch.
No one uses this. You use batteries because you're on set.
Batteries.
So. All right.
I know.
So I think the thing that stuck out to me the most on this was the nice handle. Anytime like I'm carrying a monitor around set, having a nice movable handle that like you can grab onto has been awesome. I don't love the receiver here.
It's not my favorite too. I wish it had a VESA mount on the back.
With a little more adjustment.
A little more adjustments. So you're kind of locked into this with the way that it is right now. So that's something that I would like to see upgraded in the future.
Does come with 2 accessory plate or mounts to put a plate on the monitor. When I first got this thing, I was like, where am I putting the Terra deck? And we're like Velcroing everything and all that. But they do sell accessory plates that you then bolt on that expands this whole back to put whatever you want on it via Terra decks and other things.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was. We did a full
Is it like
movie.
a cheese plate?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
technically
that's cool.
just a cheese plate that goes on each side. But we didn't know that, and so we were Velcroing things, and then this gets pretty hot in the sun.
Yeah.
And running all day when you're not turning it off. We didn't run into any temperature problems though. So we were, 100-degree day outside Utah summer all day, and it didn't shut off, which that is a thing that happens a lot with equipment, it overheating.
Yeah.
So that was great.
The
You did mention SDI ports.
SDI. So this is another thing that I would like to see upgraded is that we have had issues with smashing, equipment not being necessarily taken care of as it should be. But the SDI ports are very exposed here, and they've been squished and bent. And
I think actually one of ours did get
This one is bent,
on
so-
our last job.
and so we've had to bend them back into place. And like other monitors have these that are like recessed in a little bit so that they're protected, and that's not able to happen in that. So that is another thing that I would like to see upgraded on a future.
One thing I do see for a quick fix, if you guys are 3D printers, I do see 2 screw plates here. So I'm sure there's some type of cover mount you could create.
Yeah,
to
dude, that's
do
something we
like
could do.
that.
We
Yeah.
should totally do that.
But right out of the box, something you should look for, be careful of.
Totally.
The feet come on and off, so if you do or don't want them, you can take them on and off.
Yeah, and then let's look at the screen. Let's talk about the screen.
So if you guys have big monitors, if you brought them on set, everybody knows how annoying it is when people come up and touch your screen. I've had a DP take a grease marker to my actual screen before. Don't let that happen. Definitely purchase. It either comes with or you have to purchase it. I'm not 100% sure. But they have these protective screens that most of the time we make them.
Or
we'll
yeah,
cut 'em
you
out.
can make your own. You can find plexi and have it cut or cut it out yourself. There's companies online that you can buy plexi or Lexan or whatever, acrylic, and have it made for your monitor.
We've been on set and we've had DP and directors ask for them to take this off so they could get a nice clean image. And I look at them and I say, I love you, but no. Because this is my life hood for my monitor.
This is you got to protect the things that you have money invested in, and you don't want it to get it ruined. So do what you got to do. Tell them to bring their own monitor.
And then this is the sun hood that it comes with. It's a pretty basic design. It just wraps around and then closes on the bottom, and that snaps in. So it is a pretty good look. I'm not the biggest fan of this bottom part. I think I may just cut it off.
It's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird, but I get the idea of it. It's just a lot of stuff, and I hate stuff like this.
Yeah.
So,
looking at the screen itself is actually really nice. Like I'm looking at it going, yeah, that's 1500 nits. I don't know that the colors are as accurate, which is why we were saying we wouldn't use it as a coloring monitor. Is because I tried to get it dialed in the best that I could to try to color on it, and I just couldn't get it to be perfect. And that's another thing is where the menu system is kind of lacking as well. Is it's really hard to navigate through it. It's kind of set up like an old Sony camera. where
That's what it
you-
reminds me of. Is like you're like, or you get into a system and then you're like, how do I get out?
Yeah, and you just have to like dig and dig and dig to find what you want to do. So that is something that I would like to see improved upon as well. For color accuracy, like I said, it's $1,000 or it's a $1,200 monitor. Like I'm not going to be color grading on this thing for big projects.
Yeah.
And so
It's a $1,200 21-inch monitor.
Yeah,
which
right?
is like in the market when you're looking at 20 plus inches or more in the monitor. For a good quality monitor, you're looking at $5,000 or more.
Yeah,
So,
and and so like for what this thing is, which is like an extra monitor to have on set that's battery powered, that has SDI, has HDMI,
in and out.
so you can loop to other things. Like it's a pretty screaming deal. I feel like people try to compare this too much to the $4,000 or $6,000 monitors. And that's not what this is. Like this is a $1,200 beast, and they kill it.
Yeah,
Like-
definitely kill it. OSEE, you guys are onto something. I've seen a few things about their smaller monitors coming out. I know they're dropping a ton of stuff. So if you guys haven't yet, like jump into OSEE, see what they're about. I think they're gonna be a pretty big name as far as monitors go, and I think they're gonna hold their own.
Yeah, independent market for sure. Like check these guys out. They're doing good things, and we like them. We're using them on sets.
We use it for our podcast monitor. We've used it on our last 3 feature films, and we use it for all our YouTube stuff and everything in-house. So, I mean, we use it. So if we're using it, I mean, there you go. So thank you guys for watching OSEE. Thank you guys. We look forward to seeing new stuff from you guys, and we'll continue to support. And as always, gotta hit the subscribe button.
I was just
Some
gonna say
like.
that. Yeah.
Well, you tell them. Not me, you tell them.
Please subscribe and like to the channel, you guys, and hopefully we'll keep creating content that benefits you.
Thanks
See you on
for
the next
watching.
one. Woo!